Hi everyone, it's Alun Jones here, and today we'll be taking up the Snowdon Ranger path. The Snowdon Ranger path starts here at the Cwellyn car park. It's quite a small car park, so I would suggest come here maybe, if you're coming in summer, come here quite early in the morning because it does get quite busy and quite full quite quickly, especially on the weekends. I estimate today will probably take about 6 hours altogether, about 3 hours up, but 2.5 hours down. But give you about 6 hours altogether. As you can see, initially it starts quite steep in a zigzag pattern, but then levels off. But then at this point, about halfway through, it gets very steep again up the scree and the last push up to the summit. Yeah, so Ken, you've been volunteering with the National Park now as a volunteer warden for 6 years now?
Yeah, I've been 6 years now since, I retired about 12 years ago, and then I thought I'd like to give a little bit back because Wyddfa is my favourite this area, because I'm from Rhydydd, that little village over there.
It's quieter on this
and it's
area,
quiet on this side. Yeah, I mean, this is one of my favourite sides. The mountains are completely different on this side.
Yeah, I tend to agree with you, really. I think this is my favourite area as well. It's slightly quieter, and it's it's a totally different landscape to the other side of
this
Wyddfa.
This side of Wyddfa is completely different hills altogether, aren't they? I mean, they're a little bit lower, obviously. They're all that sort of 700-metre height, but we've got fantastic. Wel Hebog, that ridge there. You've got Nantlle Ridge just on this side here, Mynydd Mawr. I mean, all encased in that tiny little pocket, really. It's fantastic.
And if someone on the mountain comes and sees that you're volunteering on the weekends, on Wednesdays, what can they expect?
Well, I mean, there's volunteer wardens on every footpath on weekends and Wednesdays, and I also quite often do the information van. So if they see us on the hill and we've all got badges, hats, we're either picking litter up or whatever, we're here to give them advice, a bit of information if they want, what the weather's like on the summit, can they get a bus up from somewhere else and do a circuit route, and obviously one of the main things that we ask them not to do is obviously not to drop litter, and please take it home with you.
Leave no trace.
Leave no trace is our mantra.
Right, onwards and upwards.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
This is the first gate up to Snowdon Ranger path off the road. It's very important that this is a 5-foot gate. This is a very important gate that needs to be kept closed at all times because of stock management. It's really important for that dogs as well need to be on leads because there's always sheep stock around and sometimes cattle with calves. So you need to be very careful with the dog.
I'm Mary, I'm a Conservation Officer for Cymru, the Snowdonia Society, and we're a charity that exists to help look after Eryri National Park. And the main way we do that is through lots of physical work, so we've got a huge team of hundreds of volunteers actually have signed up with us, and we arrange activities for the public to volunteer and do practical work to look after the park. So that might be footpath maintenance, digging out ditches and drains, lots of litter picks, dealing with invasive plants, what else we do? Planting trees in the winter, helping on nature reserves and all sorts, really. We've got the big litter picking project called Eryri. That's a partnership project. So the Snowdonia Society, National Park Authority, the Outdoor Partnership and the National Trust are all involved. And it's been really, really nice to get to know individuals from those different organisations over the years while we run that project. That was really set up in response to COVID. We knew there was going to be a massive influx of visitors to Yr Wyddfa and other areas in Eryri when the lockdown rules eased. So we put together this litter picking project, but it's also being a friendly presence on the mountain and helping to keep people safe as well.
Right, so we have just arrived at Bwlch Maesgwm, or should I say the path leading up to Maesgwm or Maesgwm crossing here. So this is where the path you can take up to Llanberis, up Maesgwm goes, but this is the way we're going up Cwellyn up to the summit this way. This path also is a bridle way, so it's a multi-user path, so you can walk on it, you can take horses on it, but also you can cycle on it. But there is, this time of year up until September, there is a voluntary ban We do ask people to try not to ride their bikes between 10 and 5 p.m., 10 a.m. and 5 p.m. Just because the path gets very busy and there's quite big downslopes over here, so they can build up speed quite quick. So please try not to ride your bikes between those hours. So, and what have you got with you today?
Well, I'm same as you, Alan. I've got water with me. I've also got a flask for hot tea. I also carry poles with me. These are fantastic. These take about 30% of the pressure off your knees. I've also got a map, which I've got a paper map, which is always handy. Learn how to use a paper map and a compass, because you never know when the weather's going to change, because it can change in an instant. And I've got a fleece, a first aid kit, and a waterproof jacket. Maybe not for me as such, but if we come across somebody who might be injured or might be a little bit crag fast, or not so sure of where they are, it's a little bit of reassurance to keep them warm, and I can carry that and I can use that on them.
One little message is that if you are bringing up oranges or peel of any sort, bananas, apples and stuff, please would you take everything down with you. Don't leave them on the mountain. That's an important message for us in terms of ecology. And also, I usually always carry a cap lamp. This is very handy. If the sun goes down, you're with somebody who's had an injury, or you're a bit later coming off the mountain and you think cap lamps are invaluable. Make sure that they're charged up, and some of them are USB friendly.
And also, on a weather like this, you definitely need sun cream, because you will get burnt if you don't wear sun cream on a day like this, especially up on top of a mountain. Also, because I am quite a nesh person, so I will definitely get cold on the top of the mountain. Even on a nice day like this, I do feel very cold, so I have always got a fleece and the jacket with me to keep me warm at the top.
I work as a Ffermio Bro advisor. Ffermio Bro has just started at the beginning of May, and there's a team of us who are working within the national park, and we're also administrating the project in Llyn National Landscape and Ynys Mohr National Landscape. So it's a Welsh Government scheme which will be run in the designated landscapes. So those are the 3 national parks and the 5 national landscapes of Wales. It's a 3-year scheme, and it's to try and help farmers and in the designated landscape to do nature recovery work on the farms. If there are any local farmers who will be seeing this, please, and are interested in the Ffermio Bro scheme, do please get in touch with us in the National Park office, and we'll do our best to try and support you.
This time last year, we had a load of students from Capel Manor in London who came to do some practical volunteer work, and we were on this path pulling down cairns from closer to the summit, and I'm meeting with them next week actually to do something similar. So it's nice to be here a year later. The problem with the cairns is that sometimes there are too many. The idea is that they aid navigation, so in the clouds or the dark you can spot the junction of the path going down off the mountain, for example, but when there's too many it's confusing, and it also takes stones from the path and can cause erosion of the path. So yeah, it's great to be on this walk here today. I was almost a year really from when I was up here doing that work with students.
Right, so we've just arrived at the start of the steep bit up the scree now, and pushing up towards the summit. So yeah, this is, as I said, it's going to start getting difficult at this point. Any advice you'd give to walkers from here, Pete?
If you feel that you've had enough, it does get very much steeper from here onwards, and it's very poor underfoot. It's not a built path as such. So you need good footwear, good boots or good shoes, walking shoes. And if you want to make the decision that you feel that it's gone too far, then you need to turn around and then make your way back. Or you could make your way over to Llanberis by turning right further down the valley, or as Ken just said, over Mohr and make a loop of it and back to Maescwm and back to Snowdon Ranger or to Llanberis.
That's it. And also, if you've reached this point and you're quite tired and it's hot, like a hot day like this, there's no shame in turning back at this point either. You've reached about halfway point here, so yeah, there's always no shame in turning back. Yeah, I've been working as Warden here on Yr Wyddfa for just over 6 years now. So yeah, it has its challenges, but it's a privilege really to be able to work here in such a beautiful place. And so our typical daily routine would be, and we would carry on in the morning speaking to the public, giving our advice for the weather, the different paths going up from Pen y Pass, and the 4 other paths that goes up the mountain. But also the job is quite variable, so we have a lot of different aspects to it. My background mainly is in conservation, land management and ecology. So we do a lot of help on lots of projects in terms of conservation projects. We do a lot of footpath work, but mainly it is kind of coordinating between different organisations, landowners and things like that as well on these projects, are working together to achieve the same goal, which is to protect this amazing landscape we've got behind us. So as you can see, we've reached the summit here. It took us about 2.5 hours, didn't it, Pete? Yeah, 3 hours up to the summit. It's a lovely day today. The cafe is open, but you can't always rely for the cafe to be open because the weather here does change quite a lot, and if the wind speed does go above 50 mile an hour, or if it's snowing or anything like that, the cafe would not open. So you have to prepare beforehand. So if you are thinking of going into the cafe to eat your food like that, or have something to eat at the summit, yeah, it's been a good day, isn't it, Pete?
It's been lovely, yeah. It's nice to get out and see people enjoying themselves. Not much litter around, people are enjoying the sunshine. But as I said before, the weather can change really rapidly up here, so you need to check the weather forecast well in advance, know what to expect. And if you're running into really foul weather, you need to be prepared to turn around. Carry the right gear, raincoats and rain trousers, and make sure that you're provisioned adequately. But don't hesitate to turn around when you get the chance, if you feel that the conditions are outstripping you as such.
As you can see, there's a bit of a queue going up to the summit today, so in case there is a queue, I'd always recommend you taking a coat with you just in case you get cold, because standing still here, it does get cold. I can feel it getting colder now as well, so it's about 3 or 4 degrees now, so yeah, it does get colder.
This is the intersection. We have Snowdon Ranger intersection, Llanberis and Pig Track and Miners Track, all virtually in the same place. It's very important in low cloud or in poorer conditions when people remember when they're coming up which path they've taken. Because if you make a mistake, you'll end up in the wrong valley possibly. So try to stick to the routes, have a map, and download the apps that we have available on our website.
The name Snowdon Ranger for the path comes originally from John Morton, who was one of the original guides for the mountain, and he would guide people from what is now the Snowdon Ranger Youth Hostel, which was a pub and a guest house. And he would bring people up, walk them up, and they would also have a horse with him, a pony with him.
If you would love to help with looking after Eryri National Park, but not necessarily through volunteering, please become a member. We always welcome new members. It's a way of supporting us financially. It's £15 a year for an individual, so it's quite affordable, and that would really be grateful if you'd like to become a member. Again, you can do that from our website.
So a lot of our wildlife are on farmland in Eryri, and it's extremely important as a national park that we can work very closely with the local farmers to help them maintain and enhance those special habitats that support the various wildlife we have here in Eryri. As a national park, we have been working with the farmers for over years, and we are really happy to be able to carry on supporting farmers doing the extremely good work they are doing here to help wildlife and maintain all the special habitats we have in this area.
I was just talking to the team there about the little row of peaks here, which is a lovely ridge to do. It's called the Moel Ridge, and the first peak that we're looking at across is Moel Cynghorion, and that in English is the Hill of the Councillors. And then you go along the ridge and you go along to Moel Eilio, and to Eilio is to second a vote. So possibly it's got some connections with the Princes of Gwynedd or Castell Dolbadan, which is the castle in Llanberis.
But I've only got about a quarter of the route left now to get back to the Snowdon Ranger car park. But when you get to this point, if you feel you've come down the wrong way on Snowdon Ranger instead of Llanberis, you can get back to Llanberis from this point at the junction here. Follow the route up for about a mile, get back to Llanberis, and that will get you back to your vehicle or your accommodation.
So we've finished, just finished doing up the Snowdon Ranger path for today. It's been a nice walk today, and if you've enjoyed the videos, the video for today, please look at the other paths that we've been up. So all the other paths are now uploaded on the YouTube channel. Yeah, so enjoy yourself when you come in and visit Cracking. Thank you very much. Cheers.